YouTube, what's up? We are back. We just made another bet. No, it's not just a normal straight bet for this week. We actually made a futures bet, our third one of the year, our first in-season one. And let's just get right into it. We are going to grab the Steelers plus 170 to win the AFC North, okay? Steelers are currently in first place in their division. I was very surprised that they were still plus money odds to win their division, considering they're in first place. The biggest threat in this division, and still the odds-on favorite somehow, is the Baltimore Ravens. We know this team is very talented, but there's a lot of question marks with this team right now. They're not healthy. The defense is playing horrible, and also they're 1-3. So the Steelers are already up 2 games on this team, and now Lamar Jackson's probably going to miss 2 or 3 weeks, is what's initially being reported. So a lot of question marks on that team. And look, guys, the other teams, Browns are cooked. They're playing musical chairs with their quarterbacks already. Unless Dylan Gabriel pops, that team, not a huge threat there. Yes, they have a good defense, but offensively, that's been a horrible team. Bengals, oh my gosh, we saw them on Monday Night Football against the Broncos. That might be the most dysfunctional organization in all of football. That game on Monday really just proved that Joe Burrow has held that. He's been the glue that has held that franchise together, and without him, it's absolutely nothing. Zach Taylor, I think he's a horrible coach. I think a lot needs to change with that team. They need to actually build in the trenches, and stop just relying on Joe Burrow to bail them out. It's a very heavy shotgun team. They do not set up any sort of balance with that team. It's literally just chuck up fade balls all day. It's horrible. Anyways, that team, in my opinion, is cooked. So, in my opinion, the real only threat to the Steelers is a healthy Ravens team. And yes, there's a chance that the Ravens are going to get healthy at some point in the season. Is it going to be middle of the season? Is it going to be later in the season? There's a chance it doesn't happen at all. There's a chance that the Ravens lose 2 games in a row without Lamar. They go to 1-5. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a decent chance it does happen. If they're 1-5 and Lamar's still kind of hurt, do they just bail out on bringing him back because the record's so bad and they don't want to risk bringing him back on a season that's probably dead? I think there's a chance that, and again, you're not rooting for a guy's injury, but it's more so he's already injured and you're kind of anticipating there's a chance that this thing can linger around. And especially for Lamar, it's not like Jared Goff, who's just, a surgical guy in the pocket. With Lamar Jackson, he relies so much on his feet. Not saying he's a bad passer, but so much of their pass game opens up because of the threat of his feet. And if he has a lingering hamstring injury and he has to be more of a pocket guy, that could really affect how defenses play him, and he might not be getting as easy as looks if defenses know he can't move as well. So I just think there's a lot of risk on Baltimore. I just think there's a lot of risk on this Ravens team right now. They're not going to have momentum on their side. They're going to need to really get healthy, really figure out the defense. And, it doesn't feel like it's going to be their year. I'm surprised they're still the favorites to win this division. So, look, if they do get healthy, it could end up being a coin flip with them in Pittsburgh the last 3 weeks of the season to see who claims it. But the fact that we're still getting plus 170 on what I think is a coin flip, worst-case scenario, I think there's value in those odds, and that's why I took the Steelers in this one. And lastly, there's been this narrative about Aaron Rodgers this year that he's been really bad. The 3-1, he hasn't been really bad. PFF, they're morons. I believe I heard they had him rated as the lowest quarterback in their system this year. That's insane. They scored 30-plus week 1. Last week, they were very efficient against Minnesota. I think it was 20 for 24. I watched the whole game. He was very, very good. I don't know. Maybe they have something out for him. If you actually look at the data and not just a PFF number, he's been fine. I'm not saying he's been elite. I'm not saying he's been Josh Allen. But that Steelers typically, if their defensive personnel is healthy, their defense first team, Aaron Rodgers can manage the game at a very high level, and just basically not mess it up and do well enough to get them to win the division. That's what I'm hoping out of him. Again, and very important to note, guys, this is a 0.5 unit play, so half a unit play. We'll see how it plays out. Nothing's ever guaranteed, but I do think plus 170 for a team that's up 2 games over the biggest threat in the division. And that team that is the biggest threat has a lot of question marks right now. And typically when I'm betting futures, I'm looking to get, 50-50 odds. That's a tough thing to do when you're betting a plus money underdog because there's 4 teams in the division. You're trying to be the You're trying to figure out the one that's going to make it out of the 4. If I can find basically coin flip odds on one at a decent plus money, that's kind of what I'm looking for, and that's what I believe we found here with the Steelers. I think it's 50-50 odds on it. I think it all depends on the Ravens' health and if they're able to go on a run, and I think there's coin flip odds of that. So we'll see what happens. But regardless, we're getting plus 170 on it, so I just think the value is too high to pass up. That's it, guys. If you're new to the channel, if this is the first time you've ever seen one of my videos, please like the video, subscribe. If you know nothing about me, I started this channel last year, and I believe since we've started it, I track this all on my Twitter at Karis Football, but it's either Karis Football or Nick Karis Football. I always forget the name, but we've hit at 61% on my bets since I've started this channel. So good luck finding somebody hitting higher than that. So before I disappear from your algorithm forever, excuse me, go ahead, like the video, subscribe, and I'm very selective on here. You guys probably, those that do watch, most of these bettors, they have 7 picks every week, and there's a lot of weeks where I don't even have a pick because I'm very selective about what I bet on, and we don't just throw picks and burn money. We're trying to wait for right opportunities where lines are incorrect, and we can capitalize on that. So for now, this week, this is our only play, is a futures play. We don't have any plays on the games this week. We didn't last week either. So it is what it is. Some weeks we'll have plays, some weeks we don't, and that's just how it goes. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will catch you whenever I see you next. Peace.